More women than ever are stepping into combat sports, whether that's getting involved as fight fans, picking up the sport for leisure, or training for their next big fight. This rise of women in combat sports is truly reshaping the fight world. While combat sports have evolved, the media surrounding them still overwhelmingly caters to a male audience. Yet the voices and experience of women, both fans and fighters, are becoming impossible to ignore. To understand this shift, I sat down with individuals across the sport to hear their perspectives firsthand. With that foundation in mind, I moved into my first interview with Coach Shane Hillis, a Collier County wrestling coach for over 20 years and former wrestler, asking how he's seen women participation in combat sports rise.
Women's participation in wrestling has changed exponentially. It's exploded in growth and the amount of girls that are being involved in sports. When wrestling about 10 years ago, girls had to wrestle against boys. And now they actually have their own division here in Florida where they get to wrestle and compete against girls only. It's one of the fastest growing sports in the country right now, actually. Women are definitely a lot more flexible in the sport of wrestling, especially when I would watch some of the girls compete against boys. They have a very hard time with the hips, the hip mobility that girls have and the way that they can flex and move, and it's a much different style that women have that men have. Men tend to be a little bit more tighter, and girls tend to be a little bit more flexible and a little bit more easier to learn things. Actually, too, they pick up on the sport quite quicker. So it's actually amazing. I love the fact that they're actually able to compete right now in their own division. So it gives them an opportunity to really show their growth and what women can do. Not necessarily against the men, women versus women. It's an amazing thing. So,
from conversation to reality, our journey takes us inside Inferno MMA in Naples, a space where the energy, discipline, and culture of combat sports come alive. We sat down with Hillis, a trainer and an athlete in the sport, to talk about what first drew her into combat sports, the women who walk into the gym and the journeys they embark on, and how social media shapes their experiences along the way.
I've been training for about a year and 10 months, going on 11. I do Muay Thai kickboxing and no-gi jiu-jitsu. I got into the sport. My brother is in executive protection, and he went and lived in Thailand for maybe like a year or so, and he had talked to me a lot about the sport just like in passing, and then after a while of doing that, I got into jiu-jitsu with him. Decided to seek out something a little bit more interactive, and then I found Inferno. That's when I found like a genuine love for the sport. The people who come in and out of here are either like older ladies, I'll say, looking for like strength training, more so like defense, self-defense, and then we have a few younger women who come in here and they try it out, but it's a hit or miss. Like I was saying, you have to be the kind of person who really wants to get past that point of progression. I could definitely say that I'm guilty for not paying more attention to the fight world when it comes to, up and coming fighters and stuff like that, but I would say that there is a select group of women who have been in the fight world for years now, and they're kind of like the staple. There's like a few that are up and coming, but the ones that are already integrated in the fight world and have been for years and years they're like the standard. The more female faces that you get showing that representation definitely make it that much more enticing. It's like, wow, that girl can do it, I can do it.
Seeing women train and compete changes what feels possible. When representation becomes visible, it reshapes belief, especially for young girls who are still learning where they belong. And for some, that visibility is what first pulls them into the gym.
I got started in martial arts when I was 5. I did karate for about 2 years, and then I moved from New York to Florida, so that's when I took kind of a break. And then 6th grade year, when I was 11, I started doing taekwondo, which it was kind of like my big switch into martial arts, because that's when I started going to out-of-state tournaments, and I'm the 4-time state champion in taekwondo. and 3 times district champion. And then last season, we got an advertisement of Inferno, and she was like, "Oh, that was cool. You should start doing MMA." So around this time last year is when I started MMA, and this weekend is gonna be my first MMA cage fight. Well, it's typically guys. Like at tournaments, you see more of guys. There is a much smaller group of girls, but the girls that we do have are very, they have spunk in them. Like they like to fight. Like this is what they do. Little girls aren't seeing girls fighting. Little girls aren't seeing girls in the gym. What they're seeing is men. What I was taught when I was little is, oh, you should be a ballerina, figure skater, feminine girly things. When in reality, this can also be a women's sport, and this is it's a unisex sport. Women can be as great as men. If you see women sparring in here, they can be on the same level as the other guys. Just because you're a man, you don't have more of an advantage on girls. And so I feel like that girls should, try out martial arts because it could be their sport.
For generations, women were told there wasn't space for them here, that combat sports was too rough, too dangerous, and too masculine. But space isn't given, it's taken. And with every punch, every round, every fight, women aren't just stepping into the ring, they're changing it.